And hello there, interweb viewers. Mike Shaparik, Colorado candidate for House District 49. Today I wanted to do a little talk on data centers. And data centers is probably a topic that's you got to be real careful in discussing since it's so divisive. So anyway, I just wanted to say, what is a data center? Well, a data center is exactly that. It stores lots of data. It's a big building. Can be a small building, but usually it's a bigger building depending on the type of a data center. And inside of it is a lot of computers, a lot of communications equipment, Ethernet, optics, stuff like that, something to move the data in and out, and lots of cooling. And anytime you pump electricity into computers, they burn that electricity and they're basically converting it to heat. They're like heaters. So whenever you have a lot of heat, you need lots of cooling. Semiconductors do not like heat, so you've got to cool it. So there's different types of data centers. There's what we call the traditional data center that companies like, Broadcom, Microsoft, any of those companies have for their personal type data. That is their IP. They store their programs and whatnot, and it's very proprietary, not to be shared by anybody else. Those types of data centers typically take 1 to 5 megawatts of power. Then you have the edge type of data centers. Those are mission critical. You can think of something like financial, military, stuff like that, where the data has to come very, very quickly. And they call those an edge type. And again, they're on the same order as a traditional, which is about 1 to 5 megawatts of power. Then we have the hyperscalers, and those are the companies Meta, Microsoft, Google, who store massive amounts of data, whether it's video, newspaper articles, everything that we use on a Google search. Those are the hyperscalers. And they're not mission critical. They can be a little bit slower, a little bit more removed. YouTube falls into the hyperscaler type stuff. YouTube uses a lot of data. They're about a gigabyte, a terabyte an hour or more. They use massive amounts of data. And then finally we have the AI data centers, which are the big thing now. And there's probably different types of AI data centers depending on what they're going to do, since there's different types of AI engines. For example, we have AI engines that are used for computer programming, AI engines for video processing, AI engines for health and medical imaging and whatnot. So a lot of different types of AI engines, and they all use lots of data. The data in the data centers, the difference about them is that they're put in such a format that the algorithms can use them more efficiently. So different types of data centers. The hyperscalers and the AI data centers require lots of power, 100 to 500 megawatts of power. And that's the issue. So let's talk a little bit about the good, the bad, and the ugly of data centers. The good is everything we've been talking about. If you like AI and all the benefits that come with AI, that's the good. The data centers are going to create jobs. The jobs are in the form of construction of data centers and long-term maintenance of the data centers, keeping these things up and running. All good about data centers. The bad of data centers. Well, number one, they're competing with the same resources that we all need to live with. Land, energy, like electricity, water for cooling, and everything that we all need to live with. So if we're competing with the same resources that the data centers are competing with, that drives our costs up. We can't have that. So that's part of the bad. How about the ugly of data centers? The ugly of data centers is, number one, they're ugly. And they should not be in communities, in neighborhoods and whatnot, where they create lots of noise. And they take all our land. And who's going to decide where these data centers are? It's not the communities, it's the politicians and special interests, unless you, the people, step up to your mayors and town councils and let them know whether you want a data center or not. So let's talk about communities and data centers. There are communities that don't want data centers, and you should go to your mayors and council and tell them that if you don't want them and they don't comply and not have the data centers, you got to vote them out that quick. It's that simple. But there are communities that do want data centers, and the community that comes to mind is something like in Craig, Colorado, where the legislature decided to get rid of all coal mining operations, and they're going to shut down the power up there. And they just left the community high and dry economically by destroying their economic engine. So a community like that would probably want a data center. They can use solar, they can use geothermal energy to power it, they can burn that gas to create electricity for the data centers, and it will create jobs, it will create maintenance jobs, long-term job security. It's in a place where those communities want the data centers. And there's companies that want communities that want data centers. And you communities that want data centers need to get with your political leaders, the mayors and councils, and let them know that that's what you want. And maybe lobby the legislature, who has destroyed your economic feasibility up there, and tell them that you want a data center. So anyway, I think communities should decide whether they want data centers, not the politicians, because if you let the politicians do it, they're going to be in your backyard. So this is Mike Scheperek, running for Colorado's House District 49. I would appreciate your vote for some common sense. I will be a common sense legislator at the state capitol. So go to scheperekforcolorado.com, support my campaign. I approve this message. Thank you.